This isn't a shock video. This isn't me complaining, and it's definitely not political. This is just math. My family spends just over $8,000 a month in living in Australia, and until I actually sat down and wrote every single number out, I don't think I fully understood how heavy that number really was. We didn't feel reckless. We weren't, or we're not, living large. We weren't doing anything extreme. We're just living. And that's what made it more confronting, because on paper, our lives look pretty normal. 2 kids, a home, work, school, food in the fridge, no luxury cars, no holidays every few months. It's just life. So, what I want to talk through is where that money actually goes every month. Not to scare anyone, not to make a point, but just to be honest. The biggest number is rent. Our rent alone is just over $4,000 a month. That's simply the cost of having enough space for a family in a location that works for school, work, and daily life. And once that money is gone, it's gone before the month has even started. Then there's food. Groceries for our family sit around $2,500 a month. And that's not dining out every night. That's cooking at home. That's buying what we need. That's trying to be sensible. Every shop feels like it costs more than the last one. And you walk out wondering how a basket added up so quickly. And then there's school fees. When Harry starts going to school, well, if Harry went to school, it would be $900. $900 to $1,000. There is I did some more looking yesterday. After my last video, the second child gets a small cut, a small discount. But still, $900 to $950 a month, just for the 2 to go to school. Again, nothing extravagant. We just wanting our kids to be in a stable environment where they can learn and feel supported. Then there's transport. My wife has an e-bike. That's $83 a week that we rent, lease it, which has its benefits. And I have a motorcycle, so we only take the ferry into the city if we're going out as a family for a day excursion. My wife will use the buses if she needs to go further outside of the neighborhood that we're living in. The gas I pay, the petrol I pay for my motorcycle a week is about $15, so not too bad. Then there's insurance on top of that. It's $100 a month. Basic running costs. I had 2 punctures in my rear tire. I had to go in and get it fixed. So rear tire for my motorcycle is almost $400. We don't have multiple cars. We don't have fancy vehicles. Just what's required to get to work, get the kids where they need to be, and function as a family. By the time you add in the utilities, internet, phones, insurance, and all the small things that we forget about to count, that total quietly creeps past $8,000 a month. And the part that really hit me was this. None of these expenses felt optional. None of them felt indulgent. None of them felt like bad decisions. They were just the costs of existing. And that's where something shifted for us, because when you're spending that much every month just to stand still, it becomes incredibly hard to feel like you're moving forward. You're not saving the way you should. You're not breathing. You're not building anything long term. You're just maintaining. And maintaining at that level is exhausting. I want to be really clear about something. This isn't about hating Australia. This isn't about saying it's a bad place. We've had an incredible life here. But there's a difference between loving a place and being able to afford to live in it as well. What made it harder was to realize how quiet this struggle is. People don't talk about it openly. Everyone just keeps going, keeps working, keeps saying they're fine. But behind the scenes, the numbers are getting tighter and tighter. You start doing mental gymnastics every month. You start pushing things out. You start telling yourself next month will be easier. And then the next month comes and it isn't. There wasn't one big dramatic moment for us. No single bill, no crisis, just a slow realization that the equation didn't work anymore. Income in, costs out. And there's nothing left in the middle. That's when we started asking different questions. Not how do we earn more, but what does a sustainable life actually look like for us? What does calm look like? What does breathing room look like? What does being present with our kids look like when we're not constantly under financial pressure? And those questions led us somewhere we'd never expected. This video isn't about the answer yet. It's just about the reality that pushed us to start asking. If you're watching this and thinking, that sounds like us, you're not alone. And you're not failing. Sometimes the system changes faster than people realize. And families quietly absorb the impact until they can't anymore. We're sharing this because we wish someone had spoken honestly to us earlier. Not with fear, not with drama, just with numbers. Because once you see the numbers clearly, you can finally decide what comes next. And that's where our story really begins.